sending data. Okay. Hello. So happy Tuesday. If you've never met me before, I am Kat, owner of KatsCreationsNMore and Kats Creations Wreaths. I have been doing this for 8 years, going on my 8th year, and I love to teach you how, no matter what your age or creativity or design level, anyone can make these wreaths. I feel like Ratatouille, like anyone can cook, anyone can make wreaths, and honestly, anyone can. Even if you feel like you are just all thumbs, I am confident you are able to do this. So today I am sharing with you one of my favorite designs, and the product used to create this wreath has officially been discontinued. I have been searching for it since September of last year. Went and searched high and low on Etsy, on eBay, on a bunch of Etsy sellers that used to sell it, and it's not to be found. So there are some options you have, but as far as pulling off this look, I only have 2 left, so I'm going to make the final 2, and then sad, this design will be retired, at least this specific design. It's so sad, 8 years in and I have to retire a design, but I want to show you how to do it. So first things first, share. It means the world to me if you can share this video. It just helps with the algorithm. It helps other people to find it. So if you can share this tutorial, if you're on YouTube, if you're on Facebook, that would be huge, tremendous help. Also, if you can do the little emojis, the happy faces, the hearts, the thumbs ups, the angry faces, whatever your preference is, those help as well. It's hard to believe. And then I love to comment because I love to engage with you in a Facebook Live or a YouTube Live, as we're doing today. So if you want to be notified when I go live and you're on YouTube, subscribe to my channel. That's the best way. Sometimes I just drop in random videos that I am making, and those will pop up. So I don't want you to miss anything that could be mission critical to your skill set. So subscribe. If you are on Facebook, make sure you have liked my page and you're also following. Facebook requires the double duo in order to be notified. So you'll just need to click on those 3 little dots, the little ellipses. Click on it, opens up a little hidden menu, hidden, why? Where you can click follow or make sure your notifications are turned on. If you want to save a copy of this video, in the Facebook world, it goes away in 30 days. So this tutorial that you're seeing today will not be available in 30 days. Come join my YouTube channel, or click the share button on your Facebook page. It will share this to your Facebook page, and at that point you can download it and you should be able to save the tutorial. Let me make sure I am live in all of the right places really quick. Let me make sure. Trying to get to the right page. I'm just trying to refresh the page. Where's my little refresh button? It's different in every app that you click on. Okay, let's change this. On, save. We're good there. YouTube shows live. Facebook, where are you? Let's refresh and see if Facebook shows live. Shows live. Okay, let me go ahead and enable chat so that I can see chats from both. Hi Elizabeth, hi Linda, hi Trina, hi Valerie, hi Kimberly, and Pam. I like that, the waving hand. That's so cool. I love that. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and pivot you down. So hang tight. Trying not to put my hand on the mic. I never used to realize that I was doing that quite frequently. So we are going to be starting with, this is an 18-inch grapevine, which I have already pre-cleaned. And I'm just putting a website down below so you guys have access to that. It's already been pre-cleaned. It took a little bit of time because ain't no one got that much time. You want to make sure when you're cleaning your grapevine, however, that you do both sides. And because one side is going to be where you're doing your design. The other side is where it's going to fit flush up against a client's door. So you want to make sure it's nice and smooth here for us, but also nice and smooth on the back side. Remove any dead twigs, pine needles, pine branches. I think those are all the things that I have officially found in my grapevine. I happen to get this one at Hobby Lobby. So it's all prepped and ready to go. And this is going to be a super simple design, which sadly, I'm hoping somebody will come across and start making these, because it is a requested item and they're unavailable. So first disclaimer, this is not an American flag. This is a piece of material with an American flag-like print. So as you can see, when I am unfolding this, you have a field of stars. It is not a flag. You have a field of beige, and then you have this, it's not really an orange, but it's not really a burgundy or red either. It's kind of like a rusted red color. This is a 21 foot, what they call a bunting. So as you can see, it opens quite a bit. Right here it is doubled. Oops, so that is doubled. If I go ahead and open this up even further, it takes it to about 5.5 feet, and it is, how long is this bunting? I think it's 10 feet. And so what they're intended to be used for is you swag it on a mantle, you swag it on a window covering, you swag it on a porch railing, and they just don't make these anymore. So what can you do if you really want one of these and you can't find them? Well, you could get really super creative. If you're really good at sewing, you could find material that has your stars and beige and red and sew it. It is, I'll tell you how long it is. It is 21 inches from the top to the very bottom, so you'll need 21 inches sewn. I prefer to double them. If you didn't double them, they're very, very transparent, and I don't like the transparent look. So let me show you what I mean. In that, if we pull it apart, it's really transparent. So that if I was to lay this out and kind of tuck this in, you can kind of see the pattern of my cutting mat. I know it's a little hard for you to see there, but you can see directly through this on the other side. However, if we were to wrap this way, not so much, and then you might be able to squeeze another one out. But sometimes you're not guaranteed a perfect, like this one's got on the inside portion, it's got like a weird discoloration, which is not a big deal. You would just flip it and do the other side, so that's on the inside. But I prefer to double these. So that's what I'm going to do. Let me get this all nice and folded again. Thankfully, it's been sitting so long it can stay in its folded pattern, just like this. And I prefer to have the open ends on that end, on that side. So here's where the material would fold, right here. Okay. Big pain opening it up. Alrighty. So like I said, that weird discoloration is on the inside. It's only the inside of the pattern. It's kind of weird. I don't know why that is. I've never seen that before. So what we are going to do is we are going to wrap our 18-inch grapevine in this swag. So what I prefer to do is find out. I've got it pretty even. We want it just enough to come over this side and wrap once. So I need a little bit more. So I'm going to take it into the next folded section, just like that. And I think that should be enough. This is what I'm saying. I want about a hand's full right here, because I need to, once we get everything all pulled around, this has to go around the swag. So I might just give myself just a little bit more. Okay, so here is the hardest part of the entire design. Pleating this so that it looks even and making sure that there's enough tension. I prefer to have, there's like stitching along the edge. I prefer to hide that stitching. I don't like to see it. So I'm going to take that, come on here, and fold it under. Okay. And generally when I pull these, I always get more tan. I don't know why that is. So I have released it, and I'm going to kind of come up here and just pleat a little bit. Here's that stitching again. I want to make sure we get that under. Just like that. We've got it here on top. I feel like that's good. And so you want it to be nice and tight. What I generally see in most cases is that they'll have a nice good tension here, but then right here and right here, it's floppy. And so you need to pull on both sides. You need to pull the back side right here and get that nice and tight, and not too tight that now we've taken it from a regular round grapevine and we have flipped it into an oval by mistake. But we definitely want to make sure. I feel like this is uneven now, because when I pull this around, I don't have even lengths. So let me pull back a little bit here. I want to make sure it's even, that I have grabbed even lengths. Okay. Now I'm going to grab, and of course, here comes that beige again. I don't know why the beige is just so, it desires to be seen. But nobody wants to see the beige. You really want to see the stars. Kind of really want to see all three. I'm going to really stretch that. You're going to see I'm going to put a lot of tension. Again, folding, because I don't want to see the stitch right here. Okay. Pulling, pull back here. That'll put that tension right here. Come on, flip. There you go. And flip it here to where we have it nice and even. I'm thinking that looks pretty good. I feel like I've got the same amount of fabric represented on both sides. This is what it's going to look like, and so many people confuse it for an American flag. So from here, I'm going to take a pipe cleaner, and I'm just going to wrap it around here for now, just to kind of keep the tension on the design where I want it, so that I can wrap the rest and finesse this little piece that just refuses to stay. So that's around that side. So now I'm going to take this, kind of fan it out, and this is going to go around because it's hiding my swag. So I'm going to take it under. Come on. Where's the rest of you? Take it up and over, just like so. Tuck it behind. And then from here, that would be what I forgot. Hang on, because I'm like, I don't want to let go. Let's see, can we chip clip that? Yes. Okay. Let me grab my twine, because I like the little rustic element instead of a pipe cleaner. So I'm going to come in here, right up at the top. And I'm going to tie a knot here. This is going to go around and back over. Tie here, tie here again. Okay, we'll take this, trim that off. We've got this on the back side. Now, once we add our bow, the bow is going to help secure this to the back. My pipe cleaner is already underneath to keep the rest of that in place. I'm actually going to cut the end because I have this kind of sticking out. Okay, so that's what we have thus far. So that is our swag, and so this is the way it's going to hang down on our door. And it looks fine just like this. There's so many people who just want this look on their door. We're going to elevate it a little bit. I'm going to show you some options you have before we go through and actually finish. We're going to add a really pretty Americana bow for this. We're going to kind of feel that Americana look with some Pip Berries. Some rusted metal stars are going to kind of come up here and incorporate along the edge. What else? Okay, options you have. So Hobby Lobby sells a whole bunch of these little wooden ornaments. I think this was $2.99. So you could, if you wanted to, if you weren't really good at making bows, you could kind of come in here, do a little staple of a pipe cleaner on the back, wrap that, wrap your pipe cleaner around, and that in of itself would give a really super cute, adorable look. So for $3 for your embellishment, they might be a little bit more this year. That is one option. You could come in and add some floral. I was originally going to do the floral, but here's the dilemma. Most of the floral doesn't really have an Americana type look to it, which means we want navies, we want burgundies. I mean, we could get burgundy roses, we could do bluebells, but they're kind of fringing a little bit on the royal blue look and not the true navy look. Does that make sense? Nissy says, can you like, I'm thinking use the fabric on any wreath forms. It's just going to be entirely up to you. What is your desired outcome? I always say that. What is it that you want it to look like when you finish? My desired look on this one is to look like it's an old tea stain flag wrapped around a wreath form, because that is the standard, way back in the days. It started with the grapevines and it started with the evergreens, but those were all real. So what I'm going to do first on this one is we are going to add, we're going to make the bow. Super simple bow. We're going to use the Bodabra, and we're using, where did I have it? We're going to use the Stars and Stripes with, this has the navy, it has the right kind of color red on here. This is 2.5-inch ribbon. I want to say it came from Craft Outlet, although that's missing the sticker, but I want to say it's Craft Outlet. And then we're going to do the same colors, the tan, the navy, and the red striped. You could come in, because there is the American flag tea stained ribbon, but it's weird. When you put flag on flag, it's kind of like competing. It's like, where's your attention drawn? This flag, that flag, this flag. So I try to stay away from the American flag print because we already have that look going on here. Where did I get the fabric? I bought it off a seller on Etsy. I want to say it was Annie's Treasures. And when I went to her website, she's not carrying it anymore. I found some 4 years ago on a seller on eBay that had 6, but the minute I told everybody, they all went over there and those were all sold. really super quick. And now that they're discontinued, this fabric, like I said, you can make it. You can make it and sell them to people who want the swags. If I was really skilled at that, I'd probably just do that. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to dovetail our ribbon. So that just means bring your wired edges together. We're going to go up. I like to put a nice little crease in it so it'll keep my crease from moving. I'm going to cut from the folded side down to that wired point, just like that. And we're going to go with 8 inches. So 8 inches, I'm going to gather. I'm going to use my bow dabber, and I know it feels like 8 inches, Kat. That's so small. Like, look how small that is. Well, we also don't want a bow with ribbon lengths that compete with the tail end of our swag that make it look like it's an American flag. So we just want to enhance, to accessorize. We don't want to take away from it. So we're making a smaller bow. You'll also see why in a minute. And then we're going to do 4.5 inch loops. So I'm going to bring this up on my 20 inches. I'm going to stretch this out. Ooh, I was going for 5.5. There's 4.5. Yep, 4.5 up and over. We're going to do a double set on both sides. I think I calculated that I'd have enough to do a double-sided bow. Okay, there's that one. Go up and around. Twist. I'm going to put my fingers in that hole and make sure that we're right at. And there we go. We have just enough to finish this look. Back here, I want to make sure it goes out to 8 inches, and we actually had just a little bit left. So dovetail end on this one again. Okay, that one's done. Hobby Lobby also used to sell this ribbon, but I haven't seen it yet. Now we're going to take our navy, tan, and burgundy. We're going to dovetail this one. We're going to do the same tail lengths. We're going to do 8 inches. So I'm going to gather, twist, place this inside, but this time we're going for 3.5 inches on our loops. I'm going to bring it down just a little bit. Do I want to do 3.5? There's 4. Let's see where 3.5 is. I'm going to go just a little, like 3 3/4. I'm just looking at that, and that's the thing with this design, is you can easily be misled by looking at size, because I'm thinking average size bow, and that's not what we're making here. So I gotta go up and around one more time, and then we're going out our 8 inches. I think that's a little on the long side. It is, because it was really hard for me to like angle the scissors, hold the ribbon, and cut it all at the same time. Both of those, like I said, are from Craft Outlet. From here, I'm going to grab my pipe cleaner. I'm going to kind of go up and over, drop that right down in between, twist around the back, and we're actually going to fluff on the wreath itself. Bringing this over, so this is going to go right over this fabric piece. It's the part that came around. So the first thing I want to do is bring all my tails down, okay? And then I'm going to go one up, one down, one up, one down. Same thing here, one up. Try to straighten that one out. One down, one up, one down. Let's bring those tails down. See if we can get some really good defined shapes in there. Okay, so now I'm going to take this and drop this right over our little twine area. And this is just going to wrap around the back. Just like so. And then I'm going to bring this down and re-angle my bow so that it's going in the direction I would like. Just like so. Okay, just like that, just like that. We have our swag coming down. This is what we have so far. Go ahead and pull those in. So that is our design thus far. Nice, super cute. See how the bow complements? It doesn't take away from the flag. So if I would have put a flag over here, it's got a different size scale to it. The stars would have been much smaller. It would have been like a different color all the way around. So this is just a nice little complement to the bow, or to the swag that we already have going on. So let's elevate it and make it a little country-esque. So the first thing, Factory Direct Craft is who I get my Pip Berries from, who I get my rusted metal bells from. They're basically all the country stuff. So I'm going to use some rusted metal bells, and these have holes already put in them. You can get like a whole bag of 100 stars for like this binding wire you can get on Amazon. I'll put the link in the description box when I can go back in and add that. So I'm going to go in through the hole in my metal star. Going to make sure I have equal sections. I'm going to pull it off to the side, and then all I'm going to do is twist it. So it allows me to add this to the design once I get all the other stuff in. This also helps me to hold my Pip Berries in place if I don't want to use a ton of glue. Tanika says, how is the weather in my favorite place to visit? Seattle. Well, I'm not in Seattle, but it is a nice sunny day. And so we're enjoying the sunshine. So I have a whole bunch of these. I have like 6, I think is what I made. 3 for the top, 3 for the bottom. Hot glue gun is on. So let's add some fun country elements. We are going to take Pip Berries. Pip Berries. P-I-P berries. They are just like this. These are white, red, and blue. They do make them in a mustard yellow color. This is the color. But this color, while the blue and the red look great, the yellow is like, I don't like it. So I opted to go with red, white, and blue because we're kind of sticking with the whole patriotic theme. Factory Direct Crafts, you can get your Pip Berries for like roughly $1.50 or $1.99. And the way that you can tell good Pip Berries from bad Pip Berries, because Hobby Lobby carries them too, just like this. These are Hobby Lobbies. They look so great. They're so fun. They're so bouncy. And they're a little bit bigger, but Hobby Lobbies, when I want to bend these and I want them to stay in that shape, they don't stay. they're just plastic. So there's no wire. Unless I really go in and I bend the plastic piece, but then it's not really forming the look that I want. Whereas these, if I take these and I bend them just like that on the blue, the white, I bend them, they stay. So I can bend these in little curlicues if I want. And so that is why, number one, Factory Direct Craft, amazing products. I don't get paid to, recommend them. There's no perk in it for me. I have just gone through the gamut of good quality versus bad quality. So my favorite place to get them is Factory Direct Craft, and you can get them in all of the colors. So you can get ones for Christmas colors. These are an olive green. See, like these are even more of a better color, but I would have to eliminate the green and the yellow. You can get them in just a solid color. They have them for spring that you can get, and I love them. It's a great deal. So if you're going to order and you're going to pay for shipping, order. Like, don't just get, just enough. And so what I have found is if I just take these and let these follow around the edge of my wreath, they look really amazing. So I'm trying to, get them in line, red, white, blue, red, white, blue. Sometimes it doesn't work that way. So this is another reason why we cleaned out the grapevine. So when I come in here and add these, you can have them hang off to the side, or you can just redirect everything to come right back on the wreath. Bring this one up if we want. So there's like a little Pip Berries style flare there. We can do the same thing with the ones on the bottom, just like this, and just slide them in just to kind of see how you like. Pip Berries, metal stars, rusted bells, those are all kind of like a country flair to that. I'm actually going to cut this down because I don't want it to go that long into my grapevine. So just like this, like I said, I have a really big branch right here I have to work through. There's not an awful lot I could do. Let me see if I can get this to go under. Sometimes I can redirect. There's a branch. Let me try moving this skinny little branch in the way. And now I can go under. And sometimes you need to do that in your designs. So this now is going to slide right underneath, just like that. And I like having them, just a fun little flare. I'm going to go right underneath and add that right into my grapevine. And then we'll go to the other side and do that here. Take off the excess stem right where they have them all twisted together. I'm going to pop this right up underneath my bow, just like that. Lift this up, and I'm just going to go right inside where I have that glued. And we're good on that one. Let's give it another little fluffing. Okay. Let's pull some of the red over. Let's get a white in there. Sometimes you just gotta redirect. Red, white, blue. There we go. Let's get one of these to the outside. Okay. So now with my metal stars, because they're on binding wire, I can go ahead and go under this branch, just like this, and I can actually bring my star right into place. Couple little twists on my binding wire. It starts to look like part of the wreath itself. And we'll tuck that little binding wire down, and now we've got a metal star added there. I'm going to bring one out right here, closer to that end. Oops, trying to get that one to go under. There we go. Okay, line it up right where you want it to go. Couple twists. That goes off. Metal star now comes back up on top. And let's put a little one. I'm kind of looking. I want one maybe right about there. So I'm going to take this branch right here. Bring that up. Kind of go underneath. Couple of twists. Cut that off. Tuck that back in. And now these metal stars can move, but they won't come off. So they can, there's room for a little bit of addition there. That's got to go that way. And then the same thing up here. We'll do the exact same thing. I'm going to take this white because it's the longest one. Let's bring the white up. Come here, little white one. Push the star down. Whoop. Trying to get this. I'm doing this upside down. So, okay, off, right on top. There's one. And then I'm going to bring one kind of right out here. So there's so many choices for branches. There we go. Right up here, we'll bring our star to the top, right where I want it to be. Twist, twist, twist. Take that off. Push it back down. Like I said, you can redirect your Pip Berries to go any direction you would like. And I know I've got one more. I think, do I want to bring you up here? I think so, like right in here. Let me try to. Trying to get my binding wire to go where I want it to. Okay. Couple twists. Tuck that back inside. And we are done. It literally is that simple to pull off this design. So, what questions do you guys have? I'm going to finish fluffing this bow, and then we'll put it up on the door so you can see it. I'm going to flip you up. I love the flag wreath that creators do. Thanks, Joan. It's so fun, but like I said, it comes with a huge disclaimer too. You have to make sure, because you will get a ton of hate mail from people who are like, how dare you disrespect the American flag? How dare you do that? And it's like, it's not an American flag. It's a bunting. It just looks that way. So we'll take this one down. Set this one over here. We'll go ahead and put this one up since it's all done. And then how you hang it, is entirely up to you. I have a really big branch right there. I want it there. Kind of want it like that. So let's refluff our bows. Let's get our loops in order. I'm trying to push on it so I can I can pull my bow in the direction I want the bow to go. And then there we go. That's what happens when I'm like pushing and I'm like, I really want to snap this ribbon so it responds. There we go. Now it'll stay. There's a multitude of hanging options for this particular design, and here is the rest of our flag. You can, if you want to, bring it down, have your flag more vertical. You can go even further down and let that kind of fall into place. You can fluff out your Pip Berries and have them just kind of fan in whatever direction you'd like, just like that. Maybe have a couple coming out the side. Let's flip our star around, and there you go. That's what I have for you. Super simple design, but it is such a classic look that like I said, it's sad to say that this design sadly will be retired unless, and there's other, like Amazon sells, it's like a nylon, but it's the solid red, white, and blue. I'm not even sure how well that would work. I did buy one, but I didn't like the texture. I like the fact that you have like a really stiff cotton fabric, and so it feels like flag material in a sense. That's pretty much it. That's all I have. Couple different variations. Like I said, you can swag it this way, you can swag it to the other side. There's some people who have wrapped it. I haven't figured that one out just yet, but they've kind of taken it and wrapped it from the back, kind of like a scarf. So it would like wrap underneath like your arms, and then it would just kind of crisscross in the front. So it's not really officially like, you don't see it in the same respect that this one does, where you see more of the actual bunting. The other one is a little less, but then they add florals and all the other stuff to it. Awesome, awesome. Juanita's got a little smiley face. Thank you, Joan. She said very cute. Georgiana says very pretty. Elizabeth says love the design. That's what I have for you. And then don't forget, come back Thursday. This is our Grapevine week. So we are doing all grapevines. So Grapevine today and a Grapevine on Thursday. Come find me on Thursday. I don't know if we'll stay with the patriotic theme or we'll deviate from the patriotic theme and come up with something else. So Thursday, it's 11 Pacific, 1 p.m. Central, 2 p.m. Eastern. Private group is still open if you want to join. Website KatsCreationsNMore.com if you want to purchase this or any of the other designs or join the private group. That's all I have for you. So